Welcome back, everybody. We're diving into the world of Saturday Night Live, a show that's been making America laugh for, 50 years now?
It's incredible, isn't it?
It really is. So whether you're, a longtime fan, maybe you're just curious about its impact, or hey, maybe you're prepping for like a trivia night.
Ooh, good idea.
We're going to be exploring SNL's legacy as it hits this huge milestone. And of course, we'll unpack all that drama surrounding Lorne Michaels, what's going to happen with the show. He might retire. We'll see.
Exactly, yeah.
And we'll uncover some behind-the-scenes secrets, stuff that even like diehard fans might not know.
Right.
So to kick things off, let's take a quick trip down memory lane.
So SNL's journey, it all began back on October 11th, 1975.
Wow.
And it wasn't even called Saturday Night Live at first. It was NBC's Saturday Night.
Oh, interesting.
And Lorne Michaels, the creator, his vision was kind of inspired by shows like Monty Python. He wanted to create something fresh, edgy, something unpredictable.
I love those old Monty Python sketches.
Me too.
The Ministry of Silly Walks, The Dead Parrot. Oh, man, good stuff. But you know what's really wild? Thinking about how SNL has just kept going. It's had this amazing staying power. And you can't talk about that without mentioning Lorne Michaels himself. He's been such a constant presence, for almost the entire run.
He has, yeah.
But there was a point where everyone was wondering, is he going to stick around? Is he going to retire?
Yeah. Yeah, in 2020, he actually came out and said that the 50th season, this season, would be his last.
Right. I remember that.
And, the media, everyone went crazy, right? Trying to guess who would take over. Names like Tina Fey were thrown around, Seth Meyers, Colin Jost, Michael Che. It was crazy.
Tina Fey is amazing. She's got that sharp wit.
She does.
She killed it with 30 Rock, so I bet she'd be incredible running SNL.
Totally.
But then, plot twist, Michaels decides to stay on.
He did. It was a huge surprise.
Yeah. What do you think? What made him change his mind?
Well, he said he still loves the show, especially how it, tackles politics.
Yeah.
I read this quote where he said, "It's always going to be described the same way, which is uneven. And yet people have decided somehow that it's important. And so as long as it's important and I can be useful, I'll stay."
Wow. Powerful stuff.
It is, yeah. But he did also say that, turning 80 this year, he might need to scale back a bit.
Yeah, 80. That makes you wonder, what does scaling back even mean for someone like Lorne Michaels? The guy built this whole thing. He's been so hands-on for so long.
I know, right.
So if he does take a step back, how do you think that will change the feel of SNL?
That's a good question.
Will it still feel like the same show?
It makes you wonder, and it makes you wonder about, this intricate machine he's built. What happens to it?
Exactly.
And that leads us to the production schedule, right? Which is insane.
It's legendary.
Right. Like how they put together a brand new show every single week. It's crazy.
It really is. I've always been fascinated by that. You hear about those crazy hours they work, the last minute changes, all that. It's all live too, so there's that added pressure.
So much pressure.
You've done some research on this, right?
I have, yeah.
So break it down for us. What's that process actually look like? From the initial idea to the live performance, what happens?
Okay, so it all starts on Monday when the writers, they all pitch their ideas for sketches.
So they've got to come in on Monday morning with fresh ideas.
Totally. And then the whole week, they're writing, rewriting, rehearsing, refining those sketches. They have table reads, dress rehearsals, tons of tweaks along the way.
So basically, if you're a writer on SNL, you are living and breathing the show all week long.
Yeah, pretty much.
No pressure, right?
Oh, tons of pressure. And it's not just writing jokes.
Yeah.
Right? It's creating characters, developing storylines, often, weaving in current events. It's a lot.
It sounds intense.
It is.
Well, speaking of intense, let's talk about some of the people who've made SNL so iconic, right? We can't have this conversation without talking about the phenomenal talent that's graced that stage.
Right.
So many legends.
Absolutely. It's been a launch pad for so many comedic legends. Think about Adam Sandler,
Right.
Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig. The list goes on and on.
It's crazy.
And it's interesting, right? Like Lorne Michaels, he has this ability to identify, to nurture raw talent. He seems to have a knack for finding, those comedic gems that become superstars.
He can spot them a mile away.
Exactly.
He knows.
But, it's not just about the laughs, is it? SNL has also been this platform for social and political commentary. They use satire to address some really important issues.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite example of a time when they really hit the mark? Like using comedy to make a really powerful statement?
Oh, there are so many.
I know, it's hard to choose.
But one that pops into my head is Tina Fey's impersonation of Sarah Palin during the 2008 election.
It was perfect satire. Captured the nation's attention, sparked these conversations about gender, politics, the media, all of it.
I remember everyone was talking about it.
Everyone.
It's amazing how a simple sketch can have such a profound impact on, the cultural landscape.
It really is.
And speaking of impact, let's talk about a period that many consider SNL's golden age, the 90s and early 2000s.
Ah, yes.
What a time. It was like this, I don't know, explosion of iconic sketches and characters.
It really was. It produced some of the most memorable moments in SNL history.
Yeah.
And I think what made it so special was, a combination of things, like amazing comedic talent, the writing was sharp,
Yeah.
and they were willing to, push the boundaries of what you could do on network television.
It felt like they were capturing a specific cultural moment. Like you could feel the energy, the humor resonated with a whole generation.
Totally.
I mean, who can forget Will Ferrell as Celebrity Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, or Chris Kattan as Mango?
Oh, so good.
And of course, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler behind the Weekend Update desk. Pure gold.
The best.
They were hilarious, but also insightful. They could tackle serious issues with this, I don't know, sharp wit that made you think while you were laughing.
Yeah, they had a way of doing that.
It makes me wonder, and I'm curious to hear what you think too, our listener, what made that era so special? Was it the cast, the writing? Was it just the cultural climate? Like, what do you think?
It's funny. Well, a lot of people talk about the 90s and early 2000s as this golden age. It seems like every generation has their favorite SNL era.
Right.
Which says a lot about the show, right? It's always reinventing itself, staying relevant over, 5 decades?
It's incredible. It's like a living time capsule of comedy.
It is.
Each era reflects the humor, the cultural trends of its time, like from the slapstick of those early years, to the more character-driven humor you see today.
Totally. And as those trends evolve, so does the show. Think about how they've, embraced digital platforms, created sketches that go viral, expanding their reach, their impact.
Exactly. And speaking of impact, let's talk about SNL's influence on political satire. It's always been willing to poke fun at, well, whoever's in power.
Oh, absolutely. They don't hold back.
No matter what side of the aisle they're on.
Right.
Like from Chevy Chase as, this stumbling Gerald Ford.
Oh, yeah.
To Dana Carvey's George H.W. Bush, not gonna do it.
Classic.
Will Ferrell's bumbling George W. Bush. I mean, they've hit them all.
They really have.
Yeah.
And, we can't forget Tina Fey's Sarah Palin either.
Oh, right.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Changed how people viewed political satire.
Yeah, it made a real impact. And it's a testament to the power of satire, right?
Yeah.
It's like to hold up a mirror to society, make us question our assumptions, all that.
Exactly.
Now, let's not forget, all this amazing work happens under a crazy time crunch.
Yeah.
We talk about that insane production schedule, but what are some of the biggest challenges of putting together a live show every week?
Well, think about the writers. They're under immense pressure. They have to come up with new material, funny material, week after week.
That's got to be exhausting.
It is, yeah. They're constantly brainstorming, pitching ideas, working all night.
And on top of that, you have the rehearsals, the costume changes, the set design. It's a lot.
It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, it is.
It requires incredible teamwork, coordination.
Yeah.
But the results, they speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's live. So, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of what makes it exciting, that element of surprise.
And speaking of exciting, we've got to talk about one of the things every SNL fan loves, the musical guests.
Oh, yes.
It's always a surprise, who are they going to have on? It has a whole new dimension to the show.
It does. The musical guest is a core part of the experience now. They've had, everyone from rock legends to pop stars, hip-hop icons. It's a chance for musicians to reach a wider audience. And for SNL, it's a way to stay current, with the music scene.
Yeah, it's great for everyone. And it's not just the performance. Sometimes the musical guest will be in a sketch.
Oh, yeah.
Which can be hilarious. Some truly memorable moments.
So many.
I'm curious, do you have a favorite SNL musical performance?
That's a tough one. There have been so many legendary ones. But the one that sticks out for me, Nirvana, 1992.
Oh, wow.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
They were at the peak of their popularity, and that raw energy, it was amazing. Just blew everyone away.
I remember that performance. It was chaotic and unpredictable, but also captivating.
Really?
It was a perfect reflection of Nirvana, that whole grunge movement that was sweeping the nation.
Exactly. And that's what makes SNL so special. It captures these moments, gives us a glimpse into the music, the comedy, the social trends that, define us.
Yeah. So, we've talked about the cast, the writers, the musical guests, the production schedule, the show's impact on comedy and political satire. It's clear SNL has left its mark on entertainment, but as we look ahead, things are changing so fast in media. What do you think the next chapter holds for SNL?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Like, can it adapt to this world of streaming, social media, with everyone's attention spans shrinking?
Right.
But I think SNL has a few things working in its favor.
What do you think?
Well, first, it's got this legacy, this brand recognition. It's hard to beat. People know SNL. They love it.
Yeah.
Second, they've got a proven track record.
Right.
Discovering new talent, launching careers. And finally, the format is adaptable. Like, they've already shown they can, use digital elements, stay current.
True. But there are challenges, right? I mean, let's be real.
Oh, of course. I mean, the competition for viewers, it's more intense than ever. There's so many entertainment options now. And the way people watch things, it's changing so quickly. But, I think SNL can evolve. They can thrive, maybe by, trying new formats, different platforms, continuing to push boundaries like they've always done.
It's kind of like what we were talking about before, with Lorne Michaels stepping back.
Right.
It could be an opportunity, fresh perspectives, new voices, who knows?
Exactly. It's an exciting time to be an SNL fan.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, what about you, our listener? What do you think SNL needs to do to stay relevant in the years ahead? Should they stick to the classics or, try new approaches? What do you think?
It's wild to think, a show that started way back in the 70s is still going strong, still feels, I don't know, kind of edgy.
I know, right?
Don't you think, is there like a secret sauce, something that makes SNL so enduring?
Well, I think there are a few things. First, it's live.
Knowing that anything could happen, that creates a certain, excitement,
Yeah.
immediacy. You don't get that with pre-recorded shows.
Yeah, totally. There's a certain energy when you're watching something unfold in real time. It's like, I don't know, being at a concert. You're part of the experience, not just, passively watching.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's that ability to, tap into the zeitgeist, SNL's always been a reflection of the times.
Oh, yeah.
From those early days, satirizing Watergate to, the stuff they do now, social media, political polarization, all of it.
And they don't shy away from controversy either. Remember that whole Weekend Update thing a few years back?
Oh, yeah.
Where they made fun of, well, we don't have to name names.
Right.
But some people were furious.
Oh, yeah.
Others thought it was brilliant.
It was definitely bold.
Yeah.
It's a tough line to walk.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of why SNL stays relevant, that willingness to push those boundaries, spark conversation.
Totally. It's like they're saying, hey, we're not afraid to make you uncomfortable, to make you think, to, challenge your assumptions. And in this world where it feels like everyone's in their own little bubble,
It is. Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
It is. And let's not forget just the sheer talent that's been on that stage.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, so many comedy legends got their start on SNL. It's like comedy boot camp prepares them for, a lifetime of success.
It's true. You look at that alumni list, it's mind-blowing. So many have gone on to, star in movies, TV shows, write books, create their own stuff. It's incredible.
Incredible.
It's like SNL is this breeding ground for comedic genius.
It is. And I think that's another reason it's lasted so long.
Yeah.
It's constantly refreshing itself. New talent, new perspectives. It never gets stale.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Saturday Night Live, it's clear this is more than just a comedy show. It's a cultural phenomenon. Shaped entertainment, launched careers, made us laugh, made us think for, 5 decades now? It's amazing.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of laughter, to satire, to, that magic of live performance.
So our listener, as SNL heads into this next chapter, what are you excited to see? What kind of legacy do you think they'll leave behind? And, will you be tuning in? We want to know. But for now, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep laughing.